The late 13th and early 12th centuries BC were tumultuous times. A shadow fell across the established civilizations of the Mediterranean. This shadow belonged to a mysterious group known as the Sea Peoples. These enigmatic seafarers left a trail of destruction in their wake. They swept across the region, wreaking havoc on powerful empires. From the shores of Greece and Anatolia to the heartlands of Egypt, the Sea Peoples launched relentless attacks. Their raids toppled kingdoms and reshaped the geopolitical landscape. No civilization seemed immune to their fury. The very foundations of the late Bronze Age seemed to crumble before them. These were not mere pirates or opportunistic raiders. The Sea Peoples posed an existential threat. They engaged in large-scale military campaigns with a surprising level of sophistication. Their origins remain shrouded in mystery. However, their impact on the ancient world is undeniable. The echoes of their conquest reverberate even today. To comprehend the full impact of the Sea Peoples, one must first understand the world they disrupted. The Late Bronze Age, circa 1600 to 1200 BC, was an era of unprecedented interconnectedness and prosperity. Great powers like Egypt, the Hittite Empire, and Mycenaean Greece flourished. These civilizations engaged in extensive trade networks. Diplomacy and cultural exchange flowed freely across the Mediterranean. The Egyptians, ruled by pharaohs like Ramesses II, commanded a vast empire. Their monumental architecture and sophisticated bureaucracy stood as testaments to their power. In Anatolia, the Hittites, renowned for their ironworking and chariots, held sway over a vast realm. They rivaled Egypt for dominance in the region. The Mycenaeans, with their fortified cities like Mycenae and Troy, controlled the Aegean Sea. Their warrior culture, immortalized in Homer's epics, was admired and feared. These civilizations, along with others like the Minoans on Crete and the Canaanite city-states, formed a complex web of interactions. They were linked by trade, diplomacy, and shared cultural values. This interconnected world, however, was about to face an unprecedented challenge. The arrival of the Sea Peoples shattered the stability of the Late Bronze Age. Their relentless attacks brought once mighty empires to their knees. The Hittite Empire, weakened by internal strife and facing increasing pressure on its borders, crumbled under the onslaught. Their capital, Hattusa, was sacked and burned, its glory consigned to ashes. The Mycenaean civilization too suffered a catastrophic collapse. Its grand palaces were destroyed. Mycenae, Tiryns, and Pylos, once centers of power and culture, lay in ruins. The exact cause of their downfall is debated, but the Sea Peoples' raids undoubtedly played a significant role. The collapse of these civilizations created a power vacuum. This plunged the region into a period of chaos and instability. Even Egypt, though ultimately victorious, was severely weakened by its conflict with the Sea Peoples. The pharaoh Meneptah fended off a major invasion. His successor Ramesses III faced an even greater assault. Egyptian texts describe the Sea Peoples' ferocity and the desperate struggle to repel them. These victories came at a heavy price. The cost of constant warfare drained Egypt's resources and undermined its stability. The late Bronze Age world, once vibrant and interconnected, was crumbling. Despite their devastating impact, the origins of the Sea Peoples remain one of history's enduring mysteries. Who were these enigmatic seafarers? Where did they come from? Theories abound, but definitive answers remain elusive. Some scholars believe they were a loose confederation of different groups, driven from their homelands by various factors, including climate change, famine, or internal strife. Others speculate they might have originated from specific regions, such as the Aegean Islands, Anatolia, or even as far afield as Sicily or Sardinia. The names by which they are known, Peliset, Shurden, Shekelesh, Denyan, and Teresh, are recorded in Egyptian texts. However, these names offer only tantalizing clues to their true origins. The lack of a single unifying culture or language further complicates the matter. The mystery of their origins is compounded by the scarcity of archaeological evidence directly attributable to the Sea Peoples. Their nomadic nature and reliance on ships make tracing their movements and settlements a daunting task. Nevertheless, recent archaeological discoveries, combined with reinterpretations of existing evidence, are beginning to shed some light on these enigmatic raiders. Unraveling the mystery of the sea peoples requires piecing together fragmented clues from various sources. Egyptian texts, particularly the inscriptions of Meneptah and Ramesses III, provide the most detailed accounts of their conflicts. These inscriptions describe the sea people's appearance, weaponry, and tactics. They also list the names of their various tribes. Hittite texts, although less detailed, offer valuable insights into the political climate that may have contributed to the sea people's movements. Letters from the Hittite king Suppiluliuma II mention a group called the Ahiawa, believed by some scholars to be the Mycenaean Greeks who were causing trouble in western Anatolia. This suggests that the sea people's movements may have been part of a larger, complex web of migrations and conflicts. Recent underwater archaeological discoveries have also added to our understanding. Shipwrecks off the coast of Israel, dating to the Late Bronze Age, have yielded artifacts that provide glimpses into maritime technology and trade networks of the period. These discoveries, while not directly attributable to the sea peoples, offer valuable context for understanding the maritime world in which they operated. The sea peoples were formidable warriors, both at sea and on land. They were skilled sailors capable of navigating the open waters of the Mediterranean. Their ships, likely a mix of raiding vessels and larger transport ships, allowed them to launch swift and devastating attacks. On land, they employed a combination of weapons and tactics that proved highly effective against the established powers. Their weaponry included swords, spears, axes, and composite bows. They were particularly adept at using swords, as evidenced by the discovery of distinctive swords known as now the second swords in various locations associated with the sea peoples. These swords, with their long, slender blades, suggest a focus on thrusting techniques, possibly influenced by earlier Central European sword designs. Tactically, the sea peoples were known for their aggressive and coordinated assaults. They often employed a combination of shock tactics and overwhelming numbers to break through enemy lines. Their willingness to engage in both land and sea battles gave them a significant advantage over their opponents. This adaptability and military prowess made them a force to be reckoned with.